Hi guys, before I wrap up this day, I'd like to give my market insights for the stocks that we have in the Philippine market. So far, I'd like to prioritize the request of one of our friends here. This is from Rail Let Joy Nadruda. She wants us to review Meg, Ali, and JFC, and then from there we can go ahead and proceed with the other stocks. Okay, so this is, well, I set this on private, uh, but I'll launch this after I review all the stocks. I'm still using the live stream though. Okay. Okay, so we want to review Meg, Ali, and JFC. Meg. Okay. Wow. So looks like for Meg we are again triggering a bearish movement in the coming days. So as you can see here, even though we have not reached the MA20 line, which could act as a resistance, you see some signs of rejection that's happening right at the 4.08 level. So right away you can see here that it cannot so far go any higher than this point. So the next possible course of action here is that it might dip further. Okay, so let's just check if this will give us a bounce in this area. So right now what I can see here is just uh, a possible range trading, but overall if you can see at a glance, the direction that this is trying to head is going south. So we don't really recommend, especially if you're new, we don't recommend trading stocks that are on a downward or a bearish move. So next would be Ali. Ali has started to move up, although you're again very near this next possible resistance. Okay, so that could, this could mean positive, because in a lot of occasions, even if a ceiling, or I mean a resistance is reached, there will be, it depends on the volume. If people feel that there's really a bullish or a positive outlook for a specific stock, in most cases those resistances are also broken. So let's just hope that it will happen for this particular stock. Right now we're seeing 44.65 as the next resistance. The reason why we said that is because we saw this being an area of support. So take note that when you have a support and that support gets broken, which is what happened in this situation here. So when that gets broken, your previous support now will act as a resistance. Okay, it was even tested right here, and I have a feeling it will also test once again when this price hits this level. Okay, so two things there. We can probably by that day, or hopefully by tomorrow, it reaches that and continues to break. And if it does that, then we have what we call a breakout play. Okay, so we're very near, we're testing that. There was an attempt right here during the month of December, but we were unsuccessful in breaking that. Okay, so just in case, the market gives you a chance right over here. If you're really interested to get in here, wait for the proper timing. Okay, so do not enter near the resistance, just in case people will take profit and give you a chance at the 42.59 level. I think that's already a good area to try out. Okay, so this is a solid, for me, a solid support. We've seen some trend here. So whenever this price level is hit, back in January 8, and then November 26, also during this period over here, each time it gets hit, there's a bounce that's happening. Also, oops, in this period, during this period, it was previously a resistance right over here. So same concept applies. Your previous resistance, when that gets broken, it will retest that and create a support at that level, which is exactly what happened over here. Okay, so let us see if we are going to also experience some bounce when this price is hit. Okay, so those are the key areas to watch out for. JFC. Okay, JFC is trying to just retest and stabilize at the let's see here. I'd say actually where it is at right now, that's an area it's trying to really test. So it could slightly overshoot below that line, same as what happened here. But overall, we are sitting at the support area. We actually already did a double bottom over here. So notice in the previous bottom, in the current bottom that we are now at a more positive level. Your RSI is already a little bit bullish in its pattern. Okay, that's another rule to remember. When you do a double bottom, check, does your RSI in the previous point, comparing it with an current point, is it higher than before? If it is, then that's what we call a bullish divergence. Okay, and that is for you, Rayolette. Thank you for requesting this. Okay, let's continue. So those are your first three. Let's have MWC. Hold on. So we just did, what did we just review? Meg Ali, GFC, and then next would be MWC. Okay, for MWC, be extra careful, guys. As you can see right now, we have bearish signals. In fact, I think I also mentioned this last weekend. We were also able to review this stock. We saw that there is a sign of weakness, and it was also supported in how the market performed today. We had some more decline, 1.51% decline from previous from Friday's performance. So I have a feeling it will give us a chance back at the MA20 level. So we're here. Okay, so it's even much lower than the MA20 line, but I'm just referring to this price level where you have consolidation happening right there. So I have a feeling it will retest this, could be slightly lower or slightly higher, and then it goes up again. Okay, but overall I see that we already have signs of bounce, because the lowest point actually was here, and then we were able to bounce, and then it respected your MA20 line, and then more triggers to the upside. I think this is just going to temporarily rest before it goes up again, right? So the key area to watch out and monitor for me, it is 10.64 level. For those who are really interested, don't get in yet, because I feel that you can get it at a much discounted price. DMC as well is triggering some bearish movements. Notice as it goes nearer your MA20 line. By the way, this is a Bollinger Band. And in a Bollinger Band, you have moving average as the center line, or the line in the middle. And as you can see right here, just look at the pattern. Each time it goes near your MA20 line, it's like this stock is having a difficult time breaking that MA20 line. So at the moment, it still respects your MA20 line being a resistance at the moment. So when it is a resistance, remember, if you're new, I'd like to compare it to a ceiling. You know, a ceiling in your house. So when you jump and you hit your head on the ceiling, of course, full of gravity, it will go down. Okay? So it's like there's some rejection that's happening as it reaches your ceiling. But in the world of stock market, we call it a resistance. I'm just comparing it in layman's term. Okay, so where could it possibly stop? First of all, it will test the nearest possible support, which is just right here. Okay, now if it breaks that, then of course it can go somewhere here, right? So where you have these lines, could be here, 5.13. So I'm just plotting possible areas where it could bounce. Okay, so probably tomorrow it will again give us a more significant indication whether it is going to officially bounce in the 5.92 level, or it will even break down further. Um, and 5.09 is the next area to watch out for. Okay, let's try to take a look at the other stocks now. So far, let's look into all stocks, and then we start from the highest, from the largest trade to the lowest. Okay, so you have ISM. ISM still triggering some more bearish movements. Um, I don't see any signs of possible bounce yet, even though, let me see, slightly higher, right? But remember, there are a lot of scenarios wherein price is still dipping even though you have this pattern already. So it's not enough to just solely base it on your Bollinger Band or solely base it on your RSI. So these two should complement each other. Plus, of course, your candlestick patterns. Now, see this? Volume is still very high. So people feel that it can still go lower, right? Now, for those people who entered in this stock and had an objective of staying there long term, uh, my recommendation is the moment you see some signs of recovery, probably, but definitely will know something like this, right? You had an engulfing green candlestick there, and then the volume is really low. That means people are now feeling more positive, and they feel that at that time the price is already at a cheap level. Um, but this one, let's again wait for another confirmation. Significant. Let me see what happened here. 13 hours ago, change in directors. Okay. Probably, no, if I open this, I will not be able to display it. Probably someone resigned. Normally, if a very important officer in an organization resigns, then that negatively influences the movement of a stock. If I can name one perfect example, this is the one, overstock.com. And this is from the US market. There was a significant dip right here. Notice this part? They were already moving on a positive. So there was a heavy breakdown in price, and then they were already starting to recover, right? Then all of a sudden it dipped. The reason for this was when their CEO stepped down and sold, I think, 9 million shares in Overstock. Now, up to this point, it is still trying to recover. See that? So, probably this is another example Let me just open it on a different window. Just want to understand what happened here. Investograms. ISM. News. There. Okay. COO. So the most recent announcement was about the appointment of Donald Patrick Lim as the company chief operating officer. There you go. So probably someone must have stepped down. Oh yeah. Back in on January 30, Miss Ignacio S. Braga, the director, also stepped down, resigned, and was replaced by Mr. Joseph Ong. So a lot of organizational movements happening for ISM. Next, okay, let's just go back to the other stocks. So again, guys, um, if you're starting to become worried with your stock right now, again, remind yourself on the reason why you got in the stock. So if you're in here for long term and you believe in the foundation or the fundamentals of this company, I think at the moment we see some signs of recovery, just add some more volume to bring down your uh, cost average. At least you could get more shares at a very cheap price. Okay. Next would be MBT. MBT is giving us bearish. This is so. Mhm. Bearish signal for MBT right here. Next, possible support is around 58.26, and this is right in this level. Okay, hopefully it doesn't break that. Otherwise, it could be slightly lower, which is right here. So for now, I'd like to plot it there. Okay, so I don't see any possible signs of reversal yet. So let's just wait for the pattern in the coming days. So Annie. Annie is, I think this is already a good sign for Annie. We have a first, the price right now is much higher than the previous candlestick, which ended outside of the Bollinger Band, right? And now we are currently sitting inside. At the same time, the price is much higher than the previous one. So for me, I'd say this is already a good time to start accumulating volume, because the next course of action for this stock is potentially going to move up. Notice it has been almost a year, yeah, a year of heavy downfall for Annie. Okay, so I'd say if you believe in the fundamentals, again, remember this: always check the foundation or the fundamentals of a stock, because that will help you determine which stock to partner with. Now, your technical analysis, your ability to dissect the graph and all the patterns, will tell you when to enter a stock. But again, don't underestimate the fundamental analysis. Okay, fruit, fruit, nice. This could be a okay. This is a good sign. You know what? There's a short term resistance that I see right here. Actually, for look for several days, just past 3 days, it was trying to break that, and today we were able to manage. We were able to break that successfully. Now, for those people, well, I really thought, because if I can remember it right, I was actually saying it's a sign of weakness, right? When the doji comes out at a resistance area, so that could be a sign of weakness. But again, there are several plays at the resistance level. There's what we call a breakout play. When it does break out, then your previous resistance will now act as your support. So I have a feeling it will do something like this. It will retest this support and then continues to go up. If this line gets broken, so your this line is very important. It will determine whether you'll have a downward movement or just retest and then continue to go up. So those are the two possibilities for fruit. But overall, I feel actually glad because it's now giving us a lot of chance for those people who entered right here and were not able to exit the trade right away. So this is your chance to at least break even. Okay, BPI. BPI. So notice previously there were days when you overshoot and slightly higher than the MA20 line, but we had that for several days. So the first area to monitor, okay, would be your MA20 for because we need to make sure or test first whether it will now create a brand new support, because this used to be a resistance with just some slight of overshoot, slightly higher, slightly higher, slightly higher, and I think this is the longest time that it stayed above the MA20. In previous trends here, only 2 days, but this now started here 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm thinking it might uh, just do something like this, do sideways first and then goes up like that. Okay, but then again, for me, 84.54 is an area to watch out and monitor. BDO. BDO is bearish for me. It had a difficult time really moving upwards. And right away, when we were halfway in breaking the MA20 line, the next day it just gave us that sell off. So we might have some more declines in the coming days. Okay, and to think, yeah, so I feel that we might have this will rest for a while. I'd say 145.68. That's the nearest support that I can see. It might test that again. Okay. AC. AC, this could be a sign of weakness as well. So I feel that it will go down. Maybe up to this level. It will retest that area and then move up again. So, like, I think was that BPI that we mentioned earlier, you had some overshoots, but overall it is respecting your MA20 line. So just in case the market gives you a chance right here, wait for it at the 714 level. Let us see if it will just stabilize it at that, or it might even break that. So we really cannot tell yet. The moment we get near this line, then we touch base again and talk about it. SMPH. Okay, SMPH is currently sitting at the resistance area. Okay, so let me just move that again. Okay, but still this is a resistance area. Stock is slightly higher than the line I plotted, but overall it's just the same. So I think that it will uh, revisit this before it goes up, or worse, if it does not really stabilize at the MA20 line, it might even continue to dip. Okay, but for now, I feel that you're already at an expensive uh, price. Okay, so let's see. We're now at the resistance area for the record. Euro. Euro is, oh, quick recovery there, huh? 50% ceiling. My gosh. And then I'm scared again because I don't know what's backing up this. There's another, there is another unusual price movement here. Maybe some people know something that we don't know yet, right? You know, the same thing happened to ABBA before. There was a sudden spike here. This one. So if you're not going to consider this right here during this time, um, there was a sudden like jump in price, just all of a sudden, and then right after that day, massive decline. Okay, then all of a sudden it went up again. When it reached this level, because I think it was this period when people discovered that this company is actually growing and will be giving out dividends. So imagine this price level was at approximately Feb 19. Yeah. So probably those people who may have entered here already knew something, right? And then they've invested here, and then just in time for those dividends to be released. So who would imagine previously it was just around 30ish, 0.30, and now it's 0.88. So let's go back to euro. How much is this? 1.98. Okay, so this stock has a tendency to have, spikes, and then it goes back to its original value. So yeah, especially for those people who are able to watch the market, use a much faster time frame if you want to do momentum trading. And the same rule applies if you want to use Bollinger Band. If you just shorten the period, you just use the same concept. But definitely this is not my game, because I have a regular day job that I do not want to sacrifice, because when I'm in the office, I'm 100% in the office. The focus is there. So I cannot really play this kind of game. But if you want to really enter in this stock, 1.98 for me. Most conservative and safest entry price. Okay. I think that is it for now. In the meantime, thank you for watching this video. I pre-recorded this because I didn't want to wake you up, guys. But then again, you can watch this tomorrow, And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, go ahead. My only request for everyone, this is your only way to support me. Please do subscribe. Have a good one. Bye bye.